You all are good. So, students, now we will start our next semester. So, we'll start our next chapter, chapter number 2, reproduction in plants and animals. So, first of all, what is reproduction? Students, as you know, that all living organisms reproduce, that means give birth to individuals of their own kind. Okay, so this is called reproduction. So, individual organisms do not live forever, therefore, the continuity of species relies on the individual reproducing. So, there are two basic modes of reproduction, and these two basic modes are asexual and sexual. So, in this video, we will discuss about asexual reproduction. So, asexual reproduction, students, what is asexual reproduction? Unicellular organisms are those which have single cell, right? Such as bacteria and protists, as well as some plants, fungi, and a few animals reproduce asexually. And that's why they reproduce by mitotic division, producing offsprings that are identical to their parents. So, what is mitotic division? Mitotic division, that means cell division. Cell divides in equal size, so they reproduce by mitotic division, producing offspring that are identical to their parents also, that means clones. So in multicellular organism, the new individual will arise from a cellular division of an ordinary body, that means somatic cell. So many organisms that reproduce asexual have the ability to reproduce sexually also, but the occurrence of this may be rare. Next one is organisms that reproduce asexually are found in stable environment to which they are very well suited. So next one is ways of reproducing asexually. So students, there are several ways of an organism may reproduce asexually. These are fission and budding, fragmentation, spore formation, vegetative reproduction, and parthenogenesis. So students, in this video we will discuss about fission and budding and fragmentation. So students, what is fission? Fission is common among unicellular organisms such as bacteria. So in your first chapter, I think, so you know about the binary fission and multiple fission in amoeba, right? So fission means divide the cell into two, right? So fission occurs after the mitotic division of the nucleus, when the parent cell splits into two equally sized daughter cells, forming a new organism. And next one is budding. Budding is similar to fission, except that the division of the cytoplasm is unequal. Okay, so equally division occurs in mitotic division, and but in budding process is same as fission. Only difference is that division of the cytoplasm is unequal. So the new individual arises from an outgrowth or bud from the parents. So the budding can also be seen in small multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms are those which have multiple cells. So these are the diagram about fission and budding. You can see there is there is a cell which divides into two daughter cells, and here is the budding in diagram number 1, 2, 3, and 4. From bud it reproduce the new birds also. So next is fragmentation. So students, what is fragmentation? Fragmentation occurs in multicellular organisms when the body of the organisms breaks into two or more parts, each of will form a new organisms. That means each piece of part will form a new organism, that is called the fragmentation. So this form of reproduction is common in flatworms, marine worms, and echinoderms, that means starfish. So with worms, a new individual may form when the worm gets so long that it simply falls apart, forming new organisms. As you can see in the diagram, here is a worm that splits into each part, and from each splits into number of parts, and from each part new organisms will formed, right? This is the process of fragmentation. So thank you, students. Please read both of these processes and also try to learn this. Thank you so much.